Hey, I'm Michelle Lewis of Visibility Vixen, and I am here to chat with you about 5 things I wish someone had told me before I became a CEO. Number 1, it's the hardest thing you'll ever do. I left Hollywood because it was too hard, and I honestly didn't think anything could be harder, but I was so wrong. Entrepreneurship is the hardest thing because there's no roadmap, there's no big cheese, it's all you and yours. So you have to step into it knowing endless work hours are ahead. It'll take a while to figure out your unique structure, and it may take even longer to make your first sale. And most importantly, you will go through so many changes, personal growth moments, and inner transformation along the way. You won't even recognize who you were even a month ago. 2015, Michelle is a total stranger to me now, and I remember visiting the Pretty Little Liars set a year into my new career and the girls asking me, "You work for yourself now? Like at home? That's amazing, I love watching what you do." And suddenly I realized I wasn't just a stand-in anymore. And what I had built was pretty freaking cool. It's crazy to look back and watch yourself morph into this unique entrepreneurial person. Number 2, it's the most rewarding thing you'll ever do. As your business grows, you'll have moments that stop you in your tracks. Moments where your audience, student, or viewer will send you a message that hits you really, really deep. And one of those for me was a comment to my brand video on my website where someone said, "You shook my soul." In a moment, you realize that all of your blood, sweat, and tears have truly impacted someone you've never met. You have the capability and the right to make someone else's life better, less painful, and more joyful by what you do, whatever that may be. And that's an awesome right, isn't it? So in those moments where you get the privilege to hear that impact, every single second of labor becomes totally worth it for that reward. Number 3, there's no right way to build a business, but there is only one right way for you to build your business. If you're anything like me, your first 6 months of business will be spent researching, experimenting, and copy stalking every single CEO you can get your hands on online. How do they build their site? What does it look like? How do they structure their courses? It's endless. And do you know what I got for trying to make my site and offers look perfect like everybody else? 0 sales. Everything changed when I sat down at the coffee shop, brought out a piece of draft paper, and mapped out what I wanted my business to look like without any outside influence. No one else was born with your mission, so no one else can really tell you how to build it. That's your job. So sit down, plan it out, and make it yours. Number 4, you're building this to have more time for your family and freedom for yourself. It's so easy to get caught up in building this thing that we forget that we're building it for a more important reason. More time with loved ones, financial freedom, the ability to travel, whatever the case may be for you. But we never signed on to build a business just to endlessly build a business. My poor husband would come home to find me crazed behind the computer at 1 a.m. after a long shooting day. All he wanted was a few minutes with me to hang out and see my face before he had to collapse in bed to go to work the next day. But I was building my business and I didn't have time. And that was such a waste. When I finally came to my senses, I made sure to turn everything off when he came home, to unplug every Saturday and Sunday to rest and rejuvenate. Remember to be vigilant with your balance, limit your work hours, and don't work on weekends. Start practicing now the why of stepping out with your own business. Because the bigger why is all that matters, and as a CEO, that tends to be the first thing we forget. And number 5, you will always give your best, and your best is good enough. Hear me out here. About 99.9% of us, me included, are high-achieving, task-driven type A Spitfires who could pretty much build an empire all by ourselves. And that means that we constantly put ourselves under a huge amount of pressure and expectation. Ladies, this usually manifests as right shoulder pain. Guys, usually left. And you can study more about this from Joe Dispenza and Dr. Stephen Ward. For me, I constantly put myself under so much pressure, it caused chronic headaches in my life for years. We grew up hearing to always do more, be more, achieve more, get the A, then get the A+, do it and do it right. You get my drift. And if we take these high expectation principles into business, we will work ourselves into the ground or the ER, and it still won't be enough. So save yourself now by finishing each project with "I always give my best and my best is good enough," then releasing it. It'll save you time, frustration, worry, and help you free yourself up from the self-torture expectation brings. Those are the 5 things that I wish that I knew before I started out as a CEO, and I hope that it gives you encouragement on your road ahead. I wish you blessings in your career. Go out there and change the world.